Hello everybody, back here again for our vlog a day, and today is Saturday the 13th, and today was a lovely, beautiful day to be alive. Got this morning, fairly decent time frame, got up and around, got the dog out. Supposed to have a second dog here, but I went home late last night, so worked out pretty good for me. So I got her outside, grabbed my banana and my liter of water, jumped in the hot tub for a little bit, got my soak on. Got a couple of things done around. Wife got up and around, and I was just chilling out with the dog. Just had myself a good morning, got her fed, and medicated, and all that good fun stuff. And then we were chatting about the fact we were going to run over to an event over in Mount Dora. It was basically barbecues, bourbons, and bacon and pours. I don't know what the heck all it was, so kind of is what it is. So, but yeah, went ahead and we had reached out to a bunch of friends to see who all wanted to go. And only there was a couple that were going to meet us, and then one single friend of ours, she was supposed to meet us over there also. And I was like, cool, no big deal. So we basically reached out, started at like 3, went till 8, and we were going to be in there about 3:30. So I was like, okay. So I had to leave here about an hour and a half over, so I had to leave here about 1:30, 2 o'clock, and got around that noonish time, and thought, well, I better go get my run in, so that way if I get over there and eat too much barbecue, then I won't have to worry about running once I get back home. So went ahead and got my run in and got miles done, got back, grabbed myself a shower. How are you guys doing? Better than I deserve. Yeah. So I got back from my run, grabbed myself a shower. Wife was doing some stuff, doing some work in the office, and reached out to her and like, hey, how long do you need for a heads up before I take off? And she goes, probably 10-15 minutes. I'm like, okay, go ahead and get ready then, because I'll be ready within that time also. So went ahead, grabbed her stuff, got the dog back outside again one more time, made sure she went to the bathroom, got her in the bedroom in the office with her where her bed is, and gave her a big bone thing that she likes quite a bit. It usually takes her like 5 hours to chew on the thing. She'll just chew on it for, I don't know, 20 minutes though, and she'll take 20 minutes off and chew on it again and take 20 minutes off and back and forth. And I can watch it on the camera and stuff, so it's kind of fun to see how peaceful she gets it most of the time. So went ahead and got that set up and grabbed the rest of my gear, threw some sodas and a bottle of water in my cooler, and we head over to Mount Dora and let everybody know we were on our way. And they're like, yeah, we're one buddy, him and his wife were like, hey, I gotta jump in the shower real quick, and I'll head that way also. See you guys there. And the other friend, she's like, yep, gotta drop kids off, and then I'll head that way. I'm like, cool, sounds like a plan. So we come rolling up in there, and Mount Dora is the absolute worst when it comes to parking. Holy crap, parking there is complete and utter trash. It is so junk. So we drove around for close to half an hour trying to find parking spots, and there's a ton of parking lots all over town, but they're all like, they hold like 10 cars or 15 cars at most. It's awful. And they're only parking on one side of the street, and then most of the street parking is by residential permit only, because there's still a bunch of houses downtown area, and it just sucks. So we talked about the fact we're supposed to bring lawn chairs now. So to my buddy, he's like, I don't want to bring lawn chairs, I want to carry them around while we're getting our samples and stuff. I'm like, that makes sense. I'll leave it in the car, and then we'll go back for them later if we need them or when we're in time for them. So I went ahead and did that, and then I got down to the event. We finally found a parking spot. Walked down, it's a 10-minute walk or so, not too bad, but probably about 15-minute walk. We were taking our time, and I had to stop and use the restroom because it is what it is. So got that done, got there, and got checked in, already had pre-bought our tickets, so we're good to go there. And then a buddy of mine, I texted him letting him know I was there, and he basically called me and said, hey, where you at? I said, we just walked to the gate. He goes, we're coming up on the gate, so I can see him coming in that direction. He found a spot to the south of the park, and I'd parked to the north of the park. So we basically were waiting for him to get there, and then he had a coworker that works at Costco with him, and he was hanging out there. I'd met him before, but I never really spent a lot of time talking to him and stuff. But I met him before, so we all kind of hung out there and hit a couple samples, and they'd carry their chairs in like assholes. So I'm like, great, you told me not to, so I didn't. So I was like, oh well. So we went ahead and they went and put the chairs down, and they were doing light music and some other stuff. So we grabbed a few samples of barbecue and all that good fun stuff. But the event was not at all what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a bunch of guys sitting around with grills and making like whole backyard recipe type stuff and whatnot to try and compete. And it was just a whole slew of hot trucks, is all it is, that added some barbecue, like chicken or pork, to their menu. Some didn't even have it on their menu, others did, but it was definitely not what I thought. A couple of the samples were like a full like like King's roll with like pulled pork on it and whatnot, which was great. The other ones were literally, one of them gave me a piece that was a third the size of the sample they would give you at Costco. Like, it would have fit on a toothpick, and it was chicken, it was dry, it was gross, and it was just like, the fuck are you here for? Like, I'm assuming you're getting paid to show up, but this is how you're promoting yourself. Like, let's say I see your truck someday down the road at another event. There's not a chance in hell I'm giving you money, because this food was almost unedible. And there was three of them we didn't want to eat at all. Like, we were trying to, like, I'll throw that away. Didn't want it. The samples were bad. Other ones were good. One of them, called IQ 225, was straight fire. They were really, really good. I was a big fan of theirs. So, and we had that. I also had the bourbons for the barbecues and pours, and supposed to be 3 different distilleries there with different bourbons. Only one showed up, and he had these bourbons sitting out in the sun. So, like, it's already a hot day, but this thing is in the sun, and these guys' tent set up, but he doesn't bother moving the bourbon underneath into the shade or nothing, which you could have easily just put a bottle down in a little chill, like in a cooler, had a bottle on display. When you want to pour one, pour it out. No, this stuff was like hot, like not even like just powerful whiskey. It was kind of gross, but the flavor on it was just disgusting, because it was, I've been in my hot tub when the water is hotter or cooler than this whiskey was going in my mouth, and it was just, it made me definitely never want that whiskey again. So I think if somebody else bought some and I could have it over ice, or even just normal room temperature, like 75 degrees or less, I'd probably take it. But this stuff was 100 plus degrees. This stuff was like you picked the little cup up and you could feel it was hot in your hand. I'm like, whiskey should not be hot in your hand. This is ridiculous. So wasn't really impressed with that. But we got to see Naomi sing, and then a Savannah something or other, I don't remember her name. Savannah, I don't remember what I'm trying to say, but she's out of Ormond Beach area, and we got to see her sing, which was nice. And then after she was done singing, we ended up talking to her for a little bit, and she's doing a couple of events here locally that's near us on the East Coast, because we're over Mount Dora now today. And I guess there's one of the events that's actually a ticketed event. And I told my wife, she goes, hey, if you want, hit me up on Facebook. I got a bunch of free tickets I can give out, and then I'll just get you some free tickets. Shit, that's cool. So we chatted with her a little bit. I'm not really a music fan, but we got another couple of friends of ours that are both big into music and concert and stuff. So I'm like, shit, take them. Like, get 3 tickets and you guys all go together and have a great time, and I won't have to go. So I am all for that. So, but yeah, we went ahead, chilled out there, and then went back for more samples of the barbecue. And I'd walked back up to the car and got my chairs, brought them back, which was fine. Kept reaching out to my friend who's supposed to be showing up, and she never showed up, never reached out, never texted, nothing. I don't know if she got killed in a car wreck or what the hell happened. I have no idea. So I'm like, that sucks, but it kind of is what it is. So she tends to flake out like that at times, which is superbly ass annoying, but it is what it is. So went ahead and said hell with it, and got back to the chairs, watched that, and then they had wrestling going on, which I'm definitely in no way, shape, and or form a fan of wrestling, but we were sitting back having a good time, and just that annoyance of drunk people yelling shit at the wrestlers and stuff and whatever. So basically just chilled out there, enjoyed my cigars, and just had a great time. While we were waiting in line for the samples at one point, it started raining. My wife looked and just, so what are we gonna do to get wet? I go, well, do you have an umbrella in your pocket? Like, there's no other options right now. Like, get wet or go run and hide under some tent somewhere. It's Florida, it won't rain very long, and it didn't rain very long. So by the time we got done with the rest of our samples, we'd already dried off by the time we got in and sat down in our chair. So we were good there. And then watched the wrestling. It was close to 8 o'clock when the event was wrapping up. And we walked back up to the car. I said, hey, if you do want to hit downtown here and like chill out, you need to let me know. I'll head up to the car a lot quicker, and I'll go drop the chairs off, and I'll come back and meet you here, instead of making her walk all the way there and back, because she's slower than I am. And she's like, no, I just want to go home. I'm like, okay, cool. So we got to the car, so it's like basically 7:56, which the event was from 3 to 8. And I get a text from a friend of ours. It's like, hey, something came up, I'm not going to make it. And I'm like, you think? It's 8 o'clock. The event's 100% over right now. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Of course I'm not going to make it. So I was like, hey, are you going to tell me what happened? What's going on stuff? Nothing. Just no response at all. But at the event, ran into a few friends we haven't seen in a long time, and bumped into other people and stuff, and talking to a dude named Lewis that was also a Tom and Dan fan. So we talked to him off and on throughout the evening, and that was interesting conversations. Al and I had a great conversation. We had fun chatting and had a good time. It was definitely not, I wouldn't want this to be my Groundhog's Day by any way, shape, or form, but it was tolerable, and I enjoyed it enough. The fact that my wife really enjoyed it, that's what gave me a little bit of prowess with the whole concept, because as long as she's having fun and I'm not completely miserable, I'll do my best to try and not show it. So that's pretty much what it was. And we had enough food that even though this is little samples here and there, that I was not hungry on the way home. So I said, hey, we're gonna stop. She goes, nope, I'm good. So we basically cruised home, grabbed myself, I finished up the cigar I had that I started when I was watching wrestling. Finished up my cigar on the way home, threw the Westway in, got to the house, and I was like, you know what? I feel like getting in the hot tub. So I went and jumped in the hot tub a little bit and got into the hot tub, sat outside with the dog, let her chill out with me out there, and enjoyed myself another cigar and drank some Mountain Dew because fuck, I love Mountain Dew. It is a really problem in my life. But I went ahead and knocked that out, and then brain was just overthinking shit. So wasn't really tired. It just kind of happens to me sometimes. So it is what it is. But yeah, went ahead from there. Finally headed back in, watched a little bit of Blue Bloods, got the dog put away, and wrapped it up and called it that night. So that's all I got for right now. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have yourself a safe, wonderful day. Thanks for watching.